все на английском, потому что мы говорим о глобальных акселераторах, глобальных решениях, глобальных командах, все глобально, так что обязательно нужно слушать фидбэк на английском. Я так понимаю, что вы такие продвинутые предприниматели, понимаете и говорите хорошо на английском, поэтому давай переведем на английском и начинаем с нашей pitch session. Хорошо? Okay, so we got quite a few applications. Thank you so much. Not everybody made it to the pitch session because we had limited time, but we will continue to assess the applications. And if you came here not to pitch, but just to get some feedback and to listen to hear what kind of comments we have, that's great. That's how you start. That's how you make your projects better. So thank you. And the rules for those who are going to pitch are the ones that I mentioned on the email. 5-minute English with presentation, which is going to be followed by maybe some feedback from us. And then we move on to the next team. We have quite a few of you today, so we need to kind of work like a conveyor belt, productively and fast. So the first team to present is Pambil from Odessa. Please, thank you. Did you bring your presentation?
Yes, already.
Okay, awesome. So be ready with your computer, your presentation. So we go very fast through all the teams. And I also wanted to say big thank you to Chasopys for hosting us. This is a very special place in Kyiv, so we are glad that they were able to host such a nice group of people, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Бодич?
Maybe mine? Then it would be easier for others to hear.
Yeah, for sure.
Hi everyone, I am Vladusa from a 3D printing company called Quander. We are neither hardware manufacturing nor software development, but the guys who are passionate about 3D printing. Not the technology itself, but the opportunities it gives to the people. We don't see 3D printing as hardware, software, or content businesses. It doesn't work this way. We have experience on this. We see 3D printing as a simple service for creating unique personalized products. 3D printer as a service. That's what Quander is all about. Today 3D printers are a hot topic, you every day listen in the news about it. Unfortunately, I can't change the slide. Now it's okay? No, not okay.
Okay.
Now it's great. You know a lot about 3D printers, but we don't see them in our homes. What's the reason? They're here for 30 years now, but still I cannot say who in this room has 3D printer in this room. Why? There are several reasons for this, several problems. First of them, the 3D printing is too complicated for ordinary people. The same story. One back. Yes, thank you much. It's too complicated for ordinary people. To set up, it's awful experience. You need a support team several hours. Then to download, eject filaments, you have a real headache and some kind of this. And the biggest problem next is that you have nothing to print. Today you have a lot of 3D printing marketplaces on the market, but you have not real stuff. All files you can find on 3D marketplaces are low quality, they are not verified via 3D print, and they have different file formats you can install. So in general, hardware, software, and content living their own life. Hardware is very different. It's not about hardware, software, and content. It's about creating
Я еще в шаг сегодня вечером, там же микропроцессор открываем курс.
Нужно вот здесь вот принимать.
We announced our platform
Где,
in
когда?
September during 3D Print Show in London, becoming one of the best newcomers in 3D Print. We gathered more than 1,200 subscribers. But before letting them test our platform, we asked them several questions about their overall experience with 3D printing and the problems they had. And
Да,
they
сейчас
told us
это
that the
раскачается.
problems they had can be divided into two groups. First group is a hardware product. And second group is
Если что в
software.
кадре, ну не
But the
страшно.
most important thing, the
Ты в кадре
overall
просто.
experience in printing was negative. So we tried them, let them to try our service for 4 months from now, and then ask them the same question about the overall experience and the groups. You see, at the first, the percentage rating between these two groups, hardware and software programs, was 40% to 60%. But when we asked them to repeat these questions in 4 months, the percentage rate changed dramatically. You can see the changes that now is 20% for the software and 80% the hardware problem. But what's most important, what is got for us, is still the overall experience after using our platform was still negative. So what can we do? If we fixed all the problems that were with software and apps, but the overall experience was still negative because of hardware. Yes, we have only to do the one thing, to create our own hardware which will be suitable for our software and will work perfectly. We did it. We created our own 3D printer, our own hardware, which is called Unique One. You can ask why do you need to create something new? There are hundreds of consumer 3D printers on the market evolving in the Kickstarter campaigns every day. But Unique One is really, there are several features that make it. It's first customizable 3D printer with 3D interface, which is easy to use and easy to create. First of all, we believe that 3D printer is personal thing. So you choose your own design for your unique one. Your own body and it's always unique. Next thing, we created our new patent-pending 3D interface. We think that 2D interfaces for 3D printers are very boring, so they need to have 3D interface. And we created it, and it's patent-pending, and you can control now printing process from every place in your room, and it looks really amazing. Next, Unique One connects wirelessly to your smartphone. So you need only your app, no computer, no laptop, to use your printer, not only to control the printing process like other printers, but to create stuff, to customize, personalize them in the real time. The next great feature we added to...
Sorry, can I interrupt? Before we go to the next great feature, I didn't understand the first great feature. What does it mean to have a 3D interface? I just couldn't, from your slide, I could not understand what that actually is.
We create it without a display, but with a projection. And you can see it from different sides, from the back, from the front, from the left, from the right. Yes. The whole 3D interface, not on the picture, is in 3D.
Do you have one of these things? Could
I added it to our application video, you can see it here. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
It's just very hard to...
Evan saw it, I said.
It may be a demo, but can you do a demo instead of the PowerPoint? Do you have the printer with you?
I have only video. I wanted to take the printer, but the format with 5 minutes and all these connections would be very complicated. It even doesn't work to change the slides, so we're couldn't.
Right. But you're saying that there's like a video projection?
Yes.
You move your hands through it?
No, we didn't add the
Mental
mechanics of the project, but it's really 3D, not some illusion. We have a projection which divides the pictures and all the videos into 4 parts, and then the pyramid which creates the 3D hologram. It's really cool, and we created not only the projection itself, but software that transforms every 3D file into 3D projection.
I see. So before printing your object, you get a projection of the object.
Yes,
You can
of course.
manipulate that projection somehow in order to control how it works.
When you see the project, you see it in your application. Application makes work with 3D printer. You can customize and personalize it in 3D.
Oh, on the phone now.
Yes, yes.
On your phone, you see a 3D. Oh, so on your 2-dimensional phone, you see a 3-dimensional image superimposed on your phone.
Yes. Then it's
Like a CAD file.
yes, yes. It's still fun. But you as a user don't know anything about files. You don't need to know about it. The main feature is that our 3D files are streamed directly to your 3D printer without downloading on your computer. So nobody can steal them, and users don't need to transport them to download them one time. You just push 3 buttons and print the product. And pay for the real product, not the 3D file. And when you're going to your 3D printer, you see the 3D projection on your 3D printer, and you see how it's building from the stretch. See the percentage, the time left, and when you edit your print,
Странные люди.
it will tell you open the
Батарейку от этого
print
забрать.
and take a product. It's great experience with your friend, not with your 3D printer. It has easy setup. You just unbox it, plug in, and create your products. No download software, no files, no firmware update. It's all made automatically. And to make it really useful, not one kind of a toy you have on the print, we gave it the biggest build volume. So you can create some big stuff like shoes or home decor pieces. You can see that it's 300 to 250, the biggest on the market. And to make this great prints, we created not in night printing, because all the products you should, yes. You can even choose like mine, 43 numbers inside the print. And to create such big products, you don't need to print them at night because you have great print speed. Our 3D printer is 5 times faster than other 3D printers on the market. Not just faster, but much faster. With a speed of 300 milliliters per second. It's 5 times faster than major water purified systems. And I can tell you.
You're making very, very aggressive and bold claims. So the 200 people who work on the MakerBot couldn't figure out how to be even a fifth of your speed. I mean, you're saying you've done some very, very difficult things.
Yes.
Big claims require a lot of proof. So if you're going to claim very aggressive things, you got to prove it to me.
I can tell you that we started our company because we bought MakerBot. If it was good, we didn't create our own 3D printer. We have MakerBot, Kubify, and 10 other desktop 3D printers. And all of them, I don't want to say that they're shit, but they're near this position.
You can say that.
We'll reckon it.
But where's your evidence that your printer actually works as well?
You can only put it on and to see how it works. Now we have a prototype that we mentioned in our video and showed how it works. And we are now working on our Kickstarter campaign that will be launched in April.
So your current printer that you have made does all this stuff. It actually prints as fast and as much as you claim.
Yes.
It's a fully...
And you can check it because I claim not it's very high speed, but it's 300 milliliters per second. And it's easy to check.
Well, during our separate meeting, we talked a lot about validation, and I explained that we needed an outside expert to actually come up with these claims, and after we have done different testing. And you mentioned some articles about you where they did this comparison.
Yes. I'm trying. Sure. Sorry. It's near. Before the comparison, I wanted to say that the heart of this ecosystem is one-web marketplace. Because today the biggest problem is when you have the file, you should transform it to the right format to download to your 3D print software and then print. And you never know what you will get at the end. We created a verified marketplace where you choose your product, personalize it in real time in your browser without any software, and then just stream to your printer with the encoded G code. And the printer sees it, prints, but you don't get the access to the file, and designers can be happy that nobody can steal it. And it's based on the pay-per-print model, not paying for the files. Designer makes money from every creation, and people pay only for printed products. You can see how the printer itself compares to other printers on the market. It has custom design 3D interface, film and control system, I didn't mention it. We created our smart cartridge system
And
with
it costs
RFID.
less. It does more, it's better in every way, and it costs less.
Of course.
I mean, that's fantastic. You should be very, very, very successful. Do you guys all believe it? No. People don't believe it.
Hey guys, we won IDSC 2 months ago with this project. 200 people printed some stuff for our system and showed it in the main event through the final.
I believe.
Come on, there were a lot of hands in the hall when we were in the final saying that they like our platform.
No.
I have a different.
That's important. Why do you believe? Have you seen it?
Because Sasha.
Why do you believe it?
I printed a bracelet from
Yes, I'm happy you're here today.
And it was faster than workload.
Yeah, like 5 minutes.
Faster than other printers.
Thank you very
And
much.
why do you believe?
I took her with the
I know, that's not you. And what about you? Why do you believe?
I saw at the conference that this gadget that
ADC.
IDC. I saw it. Yeah.
Actually, I did as well. I saw it.
They're very shy. You should ask them.
That's fantastic. I mean,
And I wanted to share our timeline of the product with you. We started in September announcing our platform in 3D print show in London. Then we won the setup competition at IDC are now working hard with all our team, software developers, engineers, and designers to polish our unique one for a Kickstarter campaign that will be presented in April during the 3D Print Show in New York, the biggest event in 3D printing. And it will be great. I'm very proud.
When are you gonna have? You just have one? Or?
Now we have one printer. Yes, it's prototype.
But you're pretty sure you can make it that cheap?
The price I mentioned is based on the amount of 1,000 printers because we plan to sell 1,000 printers through Kickstarter. We don't have resources now to build 1 million printers, but we have resources to build 1,000 printers.
But you calculated that you'll be able to build it.
Yes, the price will be going low, low, low. The rising amount.
But you only have one. And
If one will be successful, there will be.
If you have a big Kickstarter, when would you deliver 1,000 printers?
On April we launch Kickstarter. On November we will be shipping printers. And the last thing I wanted to mention. It's not very important, but in our team we have the idea, which is not for now shared by the majority of people, but we think it's very powerful and important, and it will change how our world not works, but looks like it's, I'm sure. All of us can have unique one-of-a-kind products. We can create them ourselves. And what we're trying to do here in Colombia is to create a simple tool everyone can use to create unique products. Our company not is about 3D printing or 3D printers, but about creating unique products yourself. And the 3D printer is the most efficient tool to do this. Thank you very much. Sorry, I didn't hear.
So you didn't talk at all about your team, which is actually the most important thing for me.
Yes,
you certainly make a very strong impression yourself. Who are you doing this with, and what is it? Can you tell me something about these people, you and your co-founders, that will convince me that you have the ability to do what you're promising, the ability to do it well enough. I mean, you're making extremely big claims, right? You're saying that you have fundamentally disruptive technology. You also have vision about the marketplace, and you don't have to convince me that you can implement the vision. But once you get into claiming that you can make disruptive hardware, right? Can you tell me how your team will be able to do it, and will be able to maintain an advantage over other people who are doing such things? Convince me that these people can do it better than all the MakerBot and everybody else.
First of all, I have two co-founders. One of them is our CTO. He has 10 years experience in programming. He was a mobile applications developer and software developer in different spaces. We also have in the team hardware engineer, the creator of the first 3D printer in Ukraine, Eastern Europe. He's now part of our team, and he worked hard to make the printer faster and faster. It's his patent technology. We also have a team of product designers in our team, all of them from Ukraine, but from different cities. It's very important to mention it because today you can print only Yoda hat or something like this, and for designer to create products that can be printed, not only YouTube but 3D viewer, it's a big challenge, and he works hard for a year now to do this, and he has several awards in London during the 3D print show. We visited in September with the best design in different categories. So we have great staff in design, great people in hardware engineering. My co-founder, which is CTO and has also experience in designing software. I think we will win.
How many people? How many people?
For now, 10 people in the team.
You paying 10 people?
Yes.
So you have some funding already?
They get salaries. We get funding 8 months ago. It was $500,000 from our local investor in Odessa.
But at the time, if I looked at your application already, so I'm a little bit so at the time that you raised the money, you weren't making printers. You were just doing the software then.
Yes.
So now that you're making hardware, of course, it's much more expensive. So did you get additional funding to develop the printer itself?
We didn't get additional funding to the printer itself because we're working on the printer nearly half year, and we had resources to work with our.
So you pivoted right when you got your money before you spent it. You pivoted to making hardware, and you've been using the money for that.
Yes, of course.
You know, I really, really admire your overall vision of the marketplace, and you know, it's really cool. I mean, it's just so crazy, right? To try to build your own printer, you know, because it's very admirable. I'm interested.
Thank you very much for your support.
We spend time, so I don't have many comments, just that I wonder, out of all the features that you listed there, how many people actually asked for? Because you had a survey. People were unhappy with hardware.
Yes, I tried to show it in slides, but it didn't work, but it's very important. That's why we're now creating printers. We have more than 1,200 subscribers, but the first 1,000 we get during one day at London 3D Print Show. It was news for us on this show. But what experience they told us? They had problems with hardware and software, 50-50, 40-60. And then they told us that they had more problems with the hardware, but with the software it's now okay. So the problems with hardware can be solved with software solutions.
I understand, but for example, you claim that people need to have their customized printers.
Yes.
Did you ask them? I'm not sure. They just want to print their stuff.
I
They're
heard-
not at the level
I
of
heard that-
iPhone, pink, golden, and so on.
I heard it a lot of times. But when I speak now with people who are 18, 20 years old, who know what is 3D printers, and they understand why they need it, because they want unique products. We are now stepping to the world of одноразовых вещей. You create something great, you need it today, in the evening. For example, if I want yellow shoes, yellow bracelet, yellow shaving. I had a great fun during this evening, and then I throw it away. I don't need that. If I can create it on my print, and it will cost me $5. It's okay. Tomorrow I will create something new. Day after, something new.
But the printer itself needs to be disposable as well?
But if you want
The
your
next
printer
slide.
to be as unique as you are, you can change the body of this printer.
If you believe it's needed, then just do it.
The formula is following: unique people, unique products, unique printers.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, it makes no sense to me either, but it doesn't have to make sense to me. You have a vision.
It will make sense to your children.
I'll ask my children. You have a vision and you're being very bold, and the crazier you are, the more you have to prove that, right? I mean, if you're gonna say printers are just too slow and inefficient and inflexible and hard to control, I'm gonna make my own printer. Well, you better be able to make an actual printer. So,
Everyone says this. I will show how it works.
I can't imagine that the look, the customization of your printer is very important, but it doesn't really matter what I think.
It will look great, like the 3D interface and all other stuff. Useful and beautiful.
And to create this customized 3D printer, are you gonna have like a menu of different colors and choices, or are people gonna print their own printer skin? Like the first thing you do when your printer gets home is you print the outside of the printer. Like you have this unfinished printer, it prints its outside. Is that what you know?
It's a great idea. I thought about it, but it doesn't work. So
You can make anything work. Nothing stops you.
No, this doesn't work. We created another system. When you want to buy our printer, you go to our website, you see the printer, and you just pull the trigger, and it customized in real time. And when you feel that it's yours, you just put buy button and take it out from your door with unique body.
Thank you. This is awesome.
Thank you very much.
So you guys got a little taste of our awesome managing director, Simeon Dukac. Not everybody here knows him, so let me introduce you, but the best way to introduce you is you got feedback from him, so you know what to expect. But everybody knows me, I guess, here in this room, so no need for introduction. Next team, founder of iBlazer with now another cool idea, and I guess it's kind of like new to almost everybody here, right?
Nobody knows what's...
So we have the
Somebody
pleasure
knows.
of a big preview into the new product from the iBlazer team that's called Confite?
Contact.
Contact. Alright, so I guess not.
Кликер. Батарейки поменять надо.
Ну или включить, например.
Да не, вроде работает. Сейчас.
Влад, ты привык.
Ты если что колебами подмигивай, она будет переключать.
Региню.
Аллергии. Ну, в общем, девушкам подмигивай. Вот и ключ.
Maybe I can say that click this and you can click on it.
Doesn't work. The next product from Conceptor is a clicker.
Заряжается по 3,5.
Батарейки?
Okay, hi there. So
Hello.
yeah, I'm Vlad. I'm founder of Conceptor, consumer technology company that made like Blazer, that maybe you've heard about. We launched the Loan Case Kickstarter campaign and already sold the technology, so we're a co-founder. First of all, I'd like to say that Columbia have really cool product and I believe that they'll launch it. But I want to give you one small advice regarding the mass production. Do your homework. It's really tough. You have some budget, so try to spend this budget on mass production planning. Because once you launch your Kickstarter campaign, people will love your product, I believe in it. Yeah, but they don't want to wait like for 1 year until you launch the actual mass production. So do your homework and try to say like the real timing of your production cycle.
I hope to get your advice about it.
Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to present a new product. We've never been talking about it. We've been working for 4 months on it, so maybe you'll be excited. Okay, so it's called Contype, meaning the context of life. This is a tracker and analyzer of life. Yeah. So what is the concept beside the idea? We can use the GPS positioning and accelerometer of your smartphone or possible hardware wearables. That allows us to understand where, what, and when the user is actually doing. We can gather 4 types of information regarding the user's life. It's work, it's sport, travel, the road, and lifestyle. For example, you're in the work and your smartphone is all the time with you. We can check the GPS positioning and we can understand that you're right now working on your possibly startup. You can put your smartphone and you're just working on your project with your laptop. The smartphone is lying, that means that you're doing the concentrated work. When you take a smartphone, you're going to have a coffee, to speak with somebody else. You are not doing the concentrated work, so we can analyze what type of work you're doing just using the smartphone. The sport. This is more usual thing. This is like the simply tracker of the steps. We can understand how much you ran or bicycle or traveled on bicycle. But GPS positioning can allow us to understand more data behind the step counting. For example, I've been traveling to Karpaty and on my car, and it was around like 6 or 7 hour drive. And my smartphone showed me, and the trackers, I'm using both of them, showed me like I've done a half a marathon just sitting on my car. That's useless, pointless, because trackers can't understand what you're actually doing. We need a GPS location so we can understand how far, what was the speed. This provides more data, more accurate data. Travel. We are traveling all the time. Each of you travel to Chasopys, I don't know, by car, by train, by subway, by trolley bus or whatever. And we are traveling all the time. We are spending lots of time traveling. We can gather the data and analyze it. Lifestyle. All good work needs some spare time to relax. We are hanging out with other friends in many places. We travel to other countries, the hotels. We can check the data and can show it. Next slide, please. Contype Sol. This is the hardware solution. Actually, we've done a 3D printing. Andrew, can you show me, please? It's just, we have a 3D printer in our office, so we just printed a small we just want to, maybe it will be very small piece of hardware with LED notifications. It will be like shaped as a brilliant, and because we need a square phone to put a good battery inside it, because GPS needs a battery to track the position. This is the variable we're going to launch. We have two options: to launch the software and then the hardware, or launch the software and hardware together. We are still thinking what the solution will be. Next slide, please. Okay. So we are using. It's working. We don't want to make to invent a wheel. We're using third-party APIs to provide you more accurate data. We use Foursquare positioning. Most of you maybe have a Foursquare. It knows that we are at Chasopys right now. So we can track where you're situated and automatically. So you went to eat to McDonald's at your daytime, and so you can see the data that you are just eating in McDonald's. You need maybe we're using some prototypes, and 80–90% it's absolutely shows the right places when you go into new places. We use Facebook to gather the simple information about the user, and we can use rescue time to provide more information about how productive you are on your work on your laptop. So it's
Doesn't work anyway.
hardware. We started working with APIs of Jumbo, with things, with speed. So we want to make a hub where your wearables and smart watches can be synchronized within our ecosystem. Next, please. But the main thing is about our data. We have 3 points here. We collect data through our application, through the wearables, and possibly our hardware solution. We can analyze the data and can understand what the context beside your moves. Then we can, potentially in the future, we can predict. Because usually we are doing the same things. We wake up, we go to the bathroom, we go to work, then we go back to home, we spend time with family. We can predict and can provide more accurate data and more context information, how productive, how healthy, how better you can be. That's actually I think it's game-changing technology, can be potential. Computation. There are two products that are quite near our concept. First one is Sony LifeLock. They're trying to build the ecosystem within the Sony hardware solutions and software. But I guess knowing the latest news about Sony and some rumors, people are talking that Sony might close the mobile division of their company, and it's not quite successful because of the maybe Sony issues. But still it's a competitor, but within the Android and first of all Sony devices. Kronos is a 2012 or 2011 startup that basically trying to do the LifeLock. They are not using the third-party APIs, and their technology is a bit outdated. Wearables and wearable technologies changed a lot for the last 3 years. There should be a better solution.
Okay, your time is
Okay, so we have a big team on Concepta. We have expertise in hardware and software and sales. Two of our guys are working in the United States right now. We have Jobon. We have some partners that develop Jobon software solution for the backend. They are working with us on our product right now. And the last slide is prediction is we're going to launch it in fourth quarter 2015. Thanks for your time.
Does anybody understand what problem they're trying to solve?
Yes, time life. Lifetime.
I just saw a presentation today saying what you have to do to have a balanced health life. And there were some 4 or 5 items. And I sent the link to the presentation to my wife, and she replied, "Oh my God, we do not do anything out of this." And I said, "Yes, we do not do." And that is why I understood the problem, because it is much easier to see what you have to do when you do something wrong before that. So once you see you are doing something wrong, you better understand how to improve. So this is much better than products which suggest some targets, goals, which you set yourself and try to reach.
Sorry, you're not answering my question.
Okay, can I try to answer it?
I think there's 2 problems, right? There's one is you can describe the problem you're trying to solve, but the other thing you might want to give some attention to is the fact that a lot of people, after your presentation, which was pretty detailed and went over 5 minutes, didn't know. So separately from the problem you are trying to solve, there's the problem of communicating that more clearly, right? You really want to probably start out explaining, like, who's your customer, what is it that you're doing for them, why you're doing it for them. Focus a little bit more on the need and a little bit less on the solution. You're talking too much about what you're doing and not enough about why you're doing it.
I'm presenting a lot, and sometimes I'm trying to explain who are our users, how big is the market, and say, okay, we know wearables is everywhere.
Not how big is the market is not the problem. That's not about how big the market
is. The problem is productivity and health, basically 2 things. We can make people more productive and more healthy.
Okay, so it's not a problem, but it's an improvement. You can make people more productive and more healthy.
Okay, yeah.
Competitors are going to present new trackers with health rate technologies, and you are going to improve some health, but you don't give the main function which are going to come in that here. Therefore, what I'm going, it's not a tracker, it's not fitness tracker, it's not motivate you to improve.
It's a tracker.
Huh?
Yeah, it's a tracker.
But what about health rate? This is the main function now. Is a trend of the Jabon and Fitbit. This is 2 competitors which are going to present us new product with that function.
It's a new feature. Yeah, and it's a popular feature. That's right. Right now we don't have a solution. Now within our hardware development, we don't have a health rate feature. We are working on it. We are thinking on it. The main problem, like yesterday, TechCrunch writer wrote about the wearables market. They provide the data, but they don't provide the context beside the data. And users, they just using it for a month and they forget about it. And the main question that everybody is asking right now about the wearables market. What should be like next step of the wearables? Because they're just counting your steps, and it's not enough to. People need to like more devices, more features. We can say that to have more information about the context.
Yeah, I agree, but I was super confused for the reasons that Simeon just mentioned. I think to clear the confusion, a lot of times it's helpful to have a use case. Just have, 1 or 2 slides where you explain, Evelyn went to work with her little watch, wearing a little thing, and this is what she collected, this is how we analyzed, and this is what we were able to predict. Some kind of dashboard screen that shows what you got from it, because you had collect, analyze, predict. What? I didn't see a dashboard, I didn't visualize what you meant by the words.
I'd love to see a comparison. Here's Evelyn with our new product that we're going to build, and here's Evelyn with a Jabon bracelet, and here's the difference. That would make it easy.
Yeah.
Anyway, you don't have to answer now. I think that's just a suggestion.
Yeah, thanks. We didn't have enough time to prepare for the presentation.
Yes.
So
No, it's okay. It's cool.
Simple.
There's just suggestions that could be useful.
But please send updated presentation to me afterwards.
Okay, absolutely.
Okay? Alright,
Sure.
cool.
Okay, thanks for listening.
Okay, so in for being such a wonderful partner. The next one is Truver. Are you guys around? Okay, do you have a video ready? Everything's going? You got everything going for you, or are you getting ready? Okay, so let's go to often type.
We just need a link to on YouTube to the video. It's 1-minute video.
Okay, why don't you get your link together until, in the meantime, we'll get often type here. Is often type here? Yeah? You got your presentation?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let's hear often type while you guys get ready.
Hi everyone, my name is Artem, I'm the founder of OftenType app. And the presentation. And so here's the page. One second.
Ребята, можно попросить Витю подойти, пожалуйста?
It's okay finally, so OftenType. It's a custom keyword app for iOS 8 we've launched 2 months ago, and the problem we address is that annoying repeated typing every one of us experience in their smartphone when filling out forms, when checking in online to some flights, when making purchases, and even when I use an app to call a taxi cab, I need to type my address often. So I don't know how about you, but that's annoyed me a lot, and that's how OftenType idea was born. The solution is pretty simple. We add additional keypad with quick keys to iOS keyboard, and after the setup, user can access these keys from anywhere on their iPhone. User can choose icon, edit titles, and enter the data. So this month was pretty awesome for us. We've reached 16,000 downloads with 0 marketing cost, but I should admit that 15,000 of them came from 3 days. OftenType was free. So that's clearly the signal to switch the business model to freemium. This is the ranks we've reached in the App Store. The highest one was place 70 in iOS top free apps utilities category. Next. We have high rating from our users. It's 4.5 stars overall rating on the App Store, and I swear I personally and my friends just posted like 10 of them, and others are from real people. So media made good feedback, gave us good feedback too. We have about 10 reviews from big European and Russian and Ukrainian blogs and sites, and actually yesterday OpenType was featured on TechCrunch, which I'm very excited about to share. So we are a team of 4 people right now. Myself, I'm doing product and marketing. I have also a developer, designer, and UX guys. They are super professionals, and I love working with them. So about the competition, our main competitor actually is a shortcut function in iOS. A lot of users solve this repeating typing problem using it, but OpenType provides better and more elegant solution. And here is a quotation from our users. Here it is. OpenType does exactly what I wanted in terms of shortcuts, what that iPhone does not. So it's kind of proved my point. So this custom keyboards market, custom keyboards from iOS and Android is pretty big right now. There are a few major players with millions of funding, but I have a good news, OpenType is not competing with them. We are addressing a different problem and we have different solutions. So the development of the project. We right now are on MVP stage. We improve our market fit. We are in Bootstrap, and right now we are fundraising to switch to freemium business model to add crucial features our users want. Our analytics shows also, and market to US, make Android version, and also we want to make Apple Watch version too. So that's it for now. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I just want to say, it's an app. You install it like an app.
Yes.
And you run the app once, and after that you get like another keyboard in your selection of keyboards. Is that right?
It's not another keyboard, it's like additional keypad. Yes, you just set up these buttons and then you use it everywhere.
So while you're running the app, you set up the buttons, and then the buttons appear on the keyboard.
Yes, the buttons appear like an extension for your keyboard.
Like when you click to get a symbol. Like
I can show you.
Okay.
Макс?
So. Sorry guys.
Does it work?
It's a cool hack.
It's not a hack, it's like a new feature in iOS 8. They opened the keyboard for a lot of developers, but we make it this way.
It's cool, it's useful, it's handy. I don't see a company personally, but maybe there is a company, but it's hard to see a business there. Just looking at it. First impression is that totally cool. You listed some competitors. All of those competitors had a lot more technology, and they were solving different problems. You didn't list any direct competitors. And I suspect that's because it's not obvious that there's a business. Now, maybe you can create the market. But I think the burden of proof is on you. Like with the printers, like, you gotta prove to me that that thing works. I just don't believe that it works. In your case, I believe that it works. But you better prove to me that somebody's gonna pay for it. Because it seems to me like it's just gonna be free.
It's gonna be free with in-app purchases, and it can make a lot of money because market is really big.
You'll have to demonstrate it.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, I mean, Ukraine has a case study on this, if you will, which is thick buttons, right? I guess you guys need to look at the learning lessons from that case. Did they get an exit? Did they get any success, and so on and so forth, and learn from that. I personally don't know the end of the story, but you should probably find out, so you don't repeat the same mistakes and so on. I mean, how long did it take you guys to develop that?
The development process was like months and a half. and actually there was designing and UXing. It seems simple, but we have a lot of work to do. The idea was born when we didn't know that iOS, that Apple will open this feature, so we developed it like blind a little bit in the dark, and then it came out.
Okay, because it seems very simple and repeatable, and no barriers to entry and so on. Retention. You said 16,000 downloads. Are you following active users? How many of them? How often they use?
Users use it like once a day or two, and we have average, almost average numbers of retention. It's like 20% after 2 weeks became an active users. So we have around 2,500 active users right now.
Okay.
So it was free for 3 days, and then
it was free for 3 days,
and then it wasn't free anymore.
Yeah, and
why? Why would you, if you're succeeding, leave it free?
We are just experimenting. The app downloads they will fall in anywhere. Don't matter what you do, app downloads will fall down, so we're just trying to earn some money, to experiment, to see if people will pay. We experiment with $2 price, with $1 price, and free option, so that's it, and people buy it.
Yeah, I mean, my first gut reaction is that you should leave it free. Permanently free. And after you get a lot of users, you can think about charging freemium. If someone uses it often, or after 3 months, or after a year, even you can start charging for additional use. You can probably do much better than having it paid out. Seems extremely unlikely that the path forward for you would be to have a 99-cent app. I'm almost certain in this case it should be a free app. That's my guess.
Yeah, we will consider this and try it. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
I'm so impressed with the English skills of these founders. Wow!
Yeah, this is amazing.
Super! Okay, so Troopers, are you ready? So you guys can come to the stage and show off.
Hello everyone, just a quick overview before we start. Unfortunately we didn't get the presentation ready for each session, but we do have a short promotional video we would like to start with, and then try to briefly explain what our startup is all about, right? And then we would like to spend most of the time with the Q&A session. Okay?
That's the way we like it.
Okay, good.
I hate PowerPoint.
Блин, да вы вообще все в кадр влезли. Ладно, блин, для места мало. Да нет, так не влазишь, только живо.
Витя,
This is our website. Let's scroll down to the bottom. Oh yeah.
This is John. His company is operating in commodities market. John's task is to grow sales and find new customers. Cold calls? Nah, they do not really work. Industry fairs and conferences? Maybe. Are these the right people? No. Maybe market research? Too expensive. John spares no effort to search for business, while others are looking to find John. But here comes Truver to their aid. In medieval France, he was a poet and messenger spreading information. Modern-day Truver is able to alert John about a possible $1 million business with Steve. How can Truver do that? Well, Truver, in fact, is a robot. Truver collects and digests business data from all over the world. Based on data, Truver generates alerts without any human input. That is how John gets to know about Steve, and they need no further introductions. John and Steve started cooperation in virtually no time. Their companies became long-term business partners. This is what Truver is all about.
yeah, it looked and sounded a bit nerdy compared to everything else that we've had here so far. So this is hardcore B2B. Yeah? How many of you know what Bloomberg and Reuters terminals are? Okay. So how many of you have used them? Right. Really? Right. So what we are trying to do is actually a terminal, which is a kind of ecosystem for communication and data sharing for the commodities industries, so different commodities markets.
So is this the same thing as the video just was? Are you talking about the video? Is this what?
No, that was my voice.
No, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing, yeah.
It's the same product as the one shown on the
We're
video.
trying to explain how that's what we saw in the video is going to be achievable.
Give me a use case, like agriculture, right? Commodity.
Let's start with something we know better, because this one from the company called MRC. So we are analysts in petrochemicals markets, by birth.
Okay.
And so let's say you are ExxonMobil in Russia, and okay, you are ExxonMobil in the US.
Better.
You are
marginally better.
You are dealing in polyethylene, let's say for pipe coating. So there are hundreds of different types of polyethylene, and you don't really want to know what's going on in the film polyethylene market. You want to know what's going on in the extrusion polyethylene market. So we will give you expressly that. You will not need to sift through tons of data from other applications in other parts of that vast market.
But what kind of information exactly about this polymer that I'm interested in a certain application for piping?
You would know who's buying from you. You would know who's buying from you and from somebody else. You would know who's buying exactly that polyethylene from somebody else and not buying from you. And we would be able to give you alerts if anything is going on in your market. Yes, so you can adjust that. If there is any change in the market, somebody showed up or somebody went down, we would know. We would alert you. If there is a business opportunity for you, we will give you this business lead. It will be a real business lead. No chaff, only grain.
So it's a subscription model, I suppose.
We don't know yet.
Okay.
That's something we need to figure out.
Okay.
You're taking public data and you're scraping it to create leads for a particular business section.
Yes, we are bringing together data sets from different countries because what you want to know as a trader or as a producer of polymers is a puzzle with a lot of pieces in it. And let's say US trade data will give you half of the pieces. China trade data will give you another half of the pieces. Bringing them together is a difficult process. It's a difficult algorithm that we have devised. So that's where we come in. Yeah? So that's how we are different, for example, from Bloomberg's Reuters terminals. And that's where we are different, let's say, from platforms like Genius or Genius. Because they do not know the market. They just dump a whole bunch of data on you, and most of it wouldn't be useful for you. You'd have to sift through it.
So you are specific to certain markets.
We are starting out now with polymers, but this model is scalable for basically any commodity.
So if you create very intelligent custom data-driven models of lead generation for commodities markets, why did you show us a video about general lead gen for any sort of business? That was super simplistic.
Yeah, the first exercise in communication. Miscarried, probably. I don't know.
It was a good video, but it wasn't about your actual trade.
We can also show you a sneak peek of our product.
That'll be less exciting though.
Oh yeah, that will be less exciting. Yeah, a lot of, well, it is exciting because
We can show 1 minute video on YouTube. Would you like to see it?
No.
No, the actual product is web. So we have the terminal, and
You mean a physical terminal?
no,
It's a virtual.
It's also as a service.
So it's a web-based view of a virtual terminal.
Yeah. So you don't need to install anything on your computer. You just go through
And they have customers? Customers.
Я смотрю всякие в камеру что-нибудь.
Well, we showed a lot of people like Axel, Xavier and so on, so really big players. So the reactions ranged from, let's say, a representative of a petrochemicals major. He told us, guys, your product is not analytics anymore, it's industrial espionage. And mostly the clients of MRC that are in the petrochemicals, they said less. They didn't say how much, they said less. So that's the reaction we're getting. People, we are cooperating with ISIS. You probably know what this is, yeah? ISIS. Not the
Bunch of
ISIS.
beard guys. It looks like him.
This is number 2 analytics company, global analytics company in petrochemicals in Canada. So there are some guys from the industry who used to go to BP and so on. They were reading this. They said that this is really reading this. Nothing like it.
Yeah, I mean, my advice, you're talking to a very general, broad audience that doesn't understand your industry, you're going to have very specific. I would leave with that. That video is a little too simplistic. I would actually tell us what the industry is and give us quotes from people in the industry validating it, because it's difficult for people outside of it to really appreciate it, right? So I think we'll have to rely on the opinion of those people, and of course, investors will probably want to see letters of intent, some kind of documentation for this.
Yeah, we could produce that. And if we had, let's say, if we knew that we need slides, we would have had something. Sure. Questions? Eugene is, I am about 80%, let's say, work-wise. We all have other full-time jobs now helping the army in Ukraine, so that's another thing that is diverting a lot of time.
Great cause, but can you get your customers to pay in advance, to pay for development, rather than try to go raise money, get the customers to finance the business?
We didn't think about this model. We were rather thinking about venture investors to come on board than making our customers pay for that. We are already developing using the funds from MRC, from the mother company, but the rate of development is not satisfying, so we want to boost it with additional investment.
I think you will find your customers to be much friendlier than your investors at this stage. So if you can get the financing from them if you're paying,
we didn't think of it.
Ну, реально
Okay,
туплю.
so soft cue?
Sorry.
Everything ready? Okay.
I hope so. Liquor, I don't know whether it's working. Whether it's working, but will it be or not, I don't know.
what a great test the founders working on the spot. Give them a broken clicker and see how they deal with it.
Oh, yeah, it's working great.
Planned it.
It's scrolling, but it doesn't matter. Hello, everybody, and today I want to share with you the Cube story. And can you scroll it for me, please? Because clicker scroll it very bad. Okay.
Page down.
Okay. So now there are 10 of us. The company was started by 3 co-founders. I have quit my well-paid job as Chief Information Officer of the retail chain, and Roman lived his academic career. He immigrated from Ukraine 6 years ago to write his PhD in Belgium, and he left it to start SoftCube. And Oleg immigrated from Ukraine 2 years ago to Germany to understand what German quality is. And we gathered and started the company. Please, next slide. And actual start of the company was one enterprise project. We came to our friends, Chasopys, here is there, and it's one of the biggest European fashion retailers. And we came to them and said, okay, we know how to work with data, how to process it, and maybe you have some data, let's do some good things together. So they said, okay, they paid them in advance, and then the problem started. They have millions of products, they have millions of customers, and they have same offers to anybody. And then the struggle begins. For half a year we tried to monetize this data. In some cases we sent personalized emails, triggered campaigns, some personalized blogs, but it doesn't work it. But in March 2014 we started one project. It was personalized product recommendations on the website. It's like customers who viewed this also viewed, like on Amazon. They already had the system before us. It was then Danish-based company, and we managed to beat them more than 2 times. We generated a lot of revenue additional to our customer and a lot of revenue to SoftCube, and it gives us the money to start as a developer of the software as a service product to broader number of customers. And the development started in summer 2014. It's very simple. You just install one line of JavaScript code to your e-commerce site. Then you design and adopt the personalization, and you get personalized offers on your website. It's just simple as that. We have launched in September 2014 the SaaS service. There are already some companies on this market, but we have 3 features that we are built. At first, we are marketing friendly, and maybe it's hard to understand to people who are not in this case, but I want to share one story of our customers. We came to chief marketing officer of one big Ukrainian shop and said, let's do this work. Okay, but they said, but my programmers are not ready now. We can install it in a few months. Okay, we said, you don't need the programmers. Just install our script code using Google Tag Manager. You don't need programmers. And we started to work. It was very exciting. He started to pay us. And now we are waiting for 3 months from them. Their programmers add 1 line of code to improve some minor feature. And because it's marketer friendly to work without programmers, it's really, really important. The second thing, because we address small and medium enterprise market, we need to start from the day one. They don't have the tons of data like big shops, and we can do it from the cold start. And we have developed technology. It's not like our competitors, and we can process data in real time. It takes us 15 milliseconds to generate personalized product recommendations. It's very good according to the market. Okay, and now we have customers all around Europe, Netherlands, Denmark, Finland, Germany, and we have around 80 customers, and 10 of them are already paying. And here is our conversion rates, and now we have more leads than can be processed. We are working on our platform. Now our capacity, we can add only 2 clients per day, and we are working on our product for that. About the money, average payment for the monthly payment is around $200, and customer acquisition cost is around 100, but it's early adopters, so maybe it can increase. Our plans till the summer 2015 is 100 paying customers and clear acquisition strategy in the United States and Europe. My partner Roman now, he's in USA developing our partnership with United States companies to start there. And maybe that's all. Please ask me some questions about the product. Thank you.
That's a good presentation. Here's a suggestion. Just when you speak with a microphone, especially, it's really great to be like super loud and energetic, but the contrast is what matters. So just, you want points of quiet, punctuated by extreme strong points. And if you're strong all the time, people start to lose.
Yeah, it's my weak point. I'm very, very loud often in microphone. And my partner Roma, he's very, very quiet.
So you have the contrast between the two of you. Okay, good. Well, I guess I want to dive a little deeper. You know, you're in a pretty crowded space, and you didn't talk about competition. You went and talked a little bit about how you're different.
No, the next in the bottom.
No, I don't want to talk about competition yet. I just
competitions.
Yeah, I don't find those graphs to be useful. Let's not do that. My point was, you went and led with a description of why you're better, what you're doing different, because it has to be super easy to use, etc. And then eventually you sort of got to the meat of it, which is that you have this funnel that was working. So my first question would be to dive a little bit deeper. I think I'm tempted to use the evidence of the actual customer success to validate your claims about ease of use rather than direct titles of the product. So, with that, let's talk about how you got those 10 customers and how you paid only $2,000 to get 10 customers, right?
Okay. It's most in most cases it's direct sales now. So we found some people who know the people that we need, and we get to the please introduce us, and then we offer our product. So it's very easy. We have 3 people that are in sales process, and about evidence that we are really easy to start. On one of our shops, our competitor, our retail Russian competitor, came to the shop and for 2 weeks before us, and they gave to the developers the task to implement their solution, and it was still implementing 2 weeks after, and we came, okay, just this day, just install it and try. And the next day they tried our product, and now they're our paying customers already after 2.5 months.
And I guess, well, you don't know yet, but what do you think will be your attrition rate? How many, on a monthly basis, what percentage of your customers will you lose every month from the previous month?
We cannot, I don't really know, because I will be just guessing, because we don't have this long story before this.
How many customers have you lost?
We have not lost any paying customers, and conversion rate from the hot lead to the paying customers now is around from 50 to 60%, something like that. We have lost customers on previous stages of the funnel. When we have hot lead, somebody trial and not paying us.
Once somebody paid $200, they pay every month, and you've never had somebody cancel? Yeah.
No, not yet. We have only for 3 months. So.
For 3 months, nobody cancels.
Yeah.
And do you have the analytics to show to the
Google Analytics,
the companies that they are actually increasing their sales?
Yeah, we show to them how many people clicked on. It's like we have experimented with cost per order model. So when people click on recommendation and then buy something, we gain the percent of it, but it don't very like what we show this to. So from recommendations you get $1,000, $2,000 from our product sets. Sure.
And your pricing, you sell to online retailers, so are you going to have tiered pricing based on volume? So 200 is like for a small one.
Yeah. It's in fact we have no customer for $2,000. We have several customers who do pay us $50, and several customers who pay us for $1,000. So and
the
average is around 200.
Yeah, and so your sales have been, so your cost of customer acquisition, I think, you don't know yet. You don't have a cost, right? Because you're doing direct, relationship-based, outbound sales, which is the cost of it is your co-founder's time, which is very hard to quantify.
Yeah, it's just
early
adopters. So it's direct sales, and we are now experimenting with content marketing. We are launching a content project, and I think there will be more clear.
And where are the customers?
Now the customers are in Ukraine. It's about half of our customers, and other customers are all around Europe, in mostly small European countries like Denmark, Netherlands, Finland, Sweden, Germany, some. But we want to experiment with the United States market, and because of this, my co-founder is there now.
Cool.
Thank you.
Guys, we're talking about serious things today. SaaS, application, devices, and let's talk about some wonderful things in our life. It's music. My name is Julia. I'm still in TechStars and we faced with the problem at the beginning try to find is there any way to copy and paste text list of songs in an online music streaming, and through this streaming to play this list of songs for you. So for example, you have this list of songs, and how would you play? We found a solution. We used YouTube API.
О, я где-то это видел. У Аладдина такое было.
For the second thing, because it's a huge collection of music videos, and we did a MVP and called it tracklist.com. It's an online streaming services for playing YouTube videos from any tracklist. So how it works? This is how the solution looks like. Imagine that you enter your favorite songs into this box, or just paste already tracklist that you already have, and hit the magic button. And what it comes magic. You have a music video YouTube playlist, which you can save, delete, add, listen, view, and so on. And we offer the option to buy songs on Amazon or iTunes, if you like. But if you don't have any playlist, we suggest tracklist from other users or tracklist from famous artists, musician, top chart, soundtrack, and many more. That's one. Market size is a sweet pie, I think, for everyone. And in global music market revenue, I think about $50 billion, but we pretend on market volume of subscription and streaming services, which is accounting about $1 billion. And we have massive growth in 2013. It's about 51%, and 28 million people paying subscription regularly each year.
Ну, я слушаю его. Не-не-не, тоже первый раз. Я записываю, конечно.
This grows, we use now affiliate programs. We trying to test monetization model with iTunes and Amazon. And in the book we have two other business models. One is advertising, users pay user watch 10 videos, for example, and one promotion. And premium model is when users listen 20 songs in one playlist, more than 20 songs and pay. But it's in the pocket. We are testing now iTunes and Amazon. We assume that our big competitors' privilege is that magic moment where we create a music video playlist from the text list of songs. So it's our main advantage between our competitors. Let's move on. Music streaming marketing and services account about 120 online streaming services, and these are big guys here. You know them. Okay, let's move on. We use already Facebook, Twitter, Quora, and DJ forums for attracting our users. Some thematic researches with the target audience. And we have good results and good conversion for them. In this month, we have visits that are counting 2 or 3 hours long on our service. Let's move on. The launch in December, testing hypothesis now, planning to give some feedbacks and results and see what happens. Our team is working together for a long time. We have more than 5 years experience in IT outsourcing. It's our second startup together. We are planning to go on the US and Europe market and searching for an opportunity for that. Work on our business model. And that was the last message. Thank you. I will be happy to answer your questions.
Do you have any revenues? Did you keep up the affiliates or program?
No, revenues not yet.
Okay, but is the affiliate working? You just didn't have people using it, or?
We have clicks, but
no, okay, but much.
We must have a big audience, about 1 million.
A million what? Users a day or what?
Users for months. To have some assumed revenue.
How many users?
For now, not so much. We are 2 weeks working on a PR company and go-to-market strategy, and we're about 400 users.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Unresolved. Yes. Okay, all right.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Igor. I'm the CEO of Androsol. Androsol is a mobile flea market and marketplace for youngsters and hipsters to sell their pre-loved stuff and to buy beautiful things that are surrounding them. Actually, all over the world, flea markets, sales and yard sales becoming very, very popular. And in Ukraine, they become very popular. So we attended almost every of it and talked to the sellers and buyers, asking them what kind of app they want to see. And also, the main thing that we wanted to do is to bring the magical atmosphere of flea market to our app. And we believe we succeeded. In 3 days we had 1,500 of downloads. And in 2 months it became about 6,000 of active users. Also, we have a really good working app. And how does it work? You just, after you download and open the app, you can browse through the stuff that is surrounding your local place, and that is also personalized for you. You can try it. You should try it. We have 4.5 star reviews in all the app stores in US, Russian and Ukrainian app stores. And also we were nominated as best app from one of the Ukrainian magazines and got a digital design award for the design. Adding a post is very simple. It takes just 30 seconds. You take a photo, write description, add title, boom, your ad is on our feed. And this really takes a very small amount of time.
Yeah, I'm skipping it. It's from my CEO. So it's 14 billion. Actually, our CEO is now on his flight to Netherlands, though this is his presentation. Our thoughts of taking it up to the Western Europe market and also to Netherlands. So what are our competitive advantages and how do we differ from other marketplaces? First of all, we're really simple to use. The second thing is we restrict business users, and we believe that we're working hard on restricting fraud and unrelevant content. So we're working also very hardly on presenting the most relevant and the most delightful content for users. So we have only real users. We have mobile application. It's very fast and very easy to use, and no business, no unrelevant content, no crappy content that you don't like. Our business model, we take 5% cut of our transactions, which was 100,000 transactions per year, can generate 6 million gross for our business.
Well, how many transactions have you actually had?
We have about, we already had about 2,500 of transactions.
So you generated revenues of?
I'm not sure, I'm CEO, but I can check it.
No, sorry, you said how many users?
We have 6,000 of active users now.
And of them, they make 2,500 actual purchases.
Yeah, actual purchases. Yeah, we have really, we created some, how do you call it? Well, we have hangouts of people.
And where?
We're mostly in Kyiv. 95% of our users are.
So when they buy something,
do they meet in person?
Yeah.
They meet physically and they give the money and stuff.
Mostly they meet, but also they use FedEx or anything else. Courier.
Okay. And I tried using your app. I couldn't figure out how to search. It just felt like, is the idea mostly that you don't search, that you just see a stream and whatever excites you, it's an impulse buy?
Actually, this is a new version. We have the categories in it.
Okay.
And the point is that you browse through different content. So you discover new things for you. You don't go to eBay or Slando or Harlex, which is very popular here in Kyiv, to find some new stuff. You just go there because you need, I don't know, a guitar. Yeah? But here, the point is that people just browsing through the app. They're scrolling through our feed and searching for the good things for them. And we're moderating content, so we're getting rid of unrelevant content that we don't like and that people that are using our app wouldn't like. Yeah. So
and how do you get users?
Mostly we work on, we attend offline events. We actually been really to quite a lot of them. Fashion festivals, handmade fairs, youth festivals. We use our Facebook app, as everyone does, Facebook marketing. And also we had a lot of media marketing. A lot of magazine wrote about us, about 30 magazines, I guess. We're thinking of TV shows, bloggers, and also working with trendsetters.
And there's no bidding, so it's a price. It's take it or leave it, right? You don't have a bid like in eBay. There's no bid.
Yeah, there's no bid, but you can. I forgot this word in English. Торговаться.
Negotiate.
Yeah, you can negotiate inside. So it's really easy. Just like mail, and you write your own price. And then you have like messages like.
And how do you charge money here in Kyiv? How do you get your 5%?
we didn't make it in Kyiv yet, so we're just gathering a lot of users. But we're talking to our users, we know them, and it's not a problem for them to share like 5% of our sales.
So you haven't generated revenues at all yet?
Yes, no. We're only two months.
That's why you have 25,000 transactions.
So before, when Evelyn asked you what your revenues were, and you said that you don't know because you're not the CEO,
no,
you lied. Because you do know. You know how many revenues you generated. You generated 0 revenues.
Revenue, you mean, yeah.
And the problem...
I'm not very good in sales.
No, it has nothing to do with how good you are in sales. No bullshit. You know that you didn't generate revenues.
Okay, revenue is, что мы получили? Я заработок. Yeah, no revenue.
Okay. What's the English translation?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't actually use revenue in my everyday.
That's okay, it's like that.
Alright, so not because that was pretty impressive. If you had generated 5% of 2,500 transactions, that was wow. You know, in just a few weeks of operation. But okay.
But we really, it takes a lot of time, and we're thinking maybe we will skip this step in Ukraine because it's very complicated.
So where is the next market for you? Where are you going next?
We're looking up to Western Europe, Israel, USA.
You haven't decided yet.
Yeah,
but you will go to one place first.
It's pretty local, so we're thinking of making it like a city and country by country, city by city. Yeah, taking capitals and so on. Actually, I'm also not responsible for marketing and our marketing strategy, so I have to apologize.
What did you do? You built this beautiful app.
Sorry?
You built this app?
Yeah, I'm responsible for every tech.
That's a really nice app.
Thank you.
I like your app a lot.
Thank you.
We'll have to talk to your co-founder about the actual business at some point.
Maybe you have another questions about business.
No, but seriously, I'm not joking. This app really is very beautiful.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
That's what we're working. Actually, our founder is now on his flight to Netherlands, and he wants to investigate the Netherlands market. But I know that Western Europe, USA has a lot of open space for this kind of.
Yeah. There's a lot of people trying to merge the Craigslist experience for garage sales with the eBay experience. It's a very common theme right now. Several companies go through different textile programs trying to tackle this problem, but having a beautiful app is key.
I'm speaking about my team, but I didn't show it. This is Konstantin, our CEO. He worked quite a long time for Naspers. That's OLX Lando, the most popular marketplace in Kyiv. Our Volodya designer, he's a really good designer. He has vast experience and has a lot of medals on design awards. That is the most valuable award in Ukraine, I guess. And I'm responsible for all the technical thing. I'm doing development for all my life.
Impressive credentials, deposit photos,
Yeah.
payment law, cognize, really
Yep.
companies.
The only problem with our designer is that big companies are hunting him always. Maybe questions?
Yeah, I mean, what's happening with Ukraine? I mean, is your trend continuing?
Yeah, we're trending, but with all the situations, and we don't get investments yet. We're doing it by our own.
So what is 800 deals? Explain what a deal is.
Deal is when the people. Wow, I think I missed it. This is when people actually met.
Okay. How is that different from the 2,000 transactions?
Actually, I apologize because I have a different.
Подожди, там же есть кнопка, что согласен с ценой.
Yeah, this is we have 405 ads. Yeah, we have like when people become to contact.
Collecting, revenues. And how do you know that they actually exchanged, that it was actually a commercial transaction?
People
they delete their ads, and we ask them whether the transaction has been successful.
So 1 out of 3 people who connect actually meet.
Till now, yeah.
Interesting.
We have a nice conversion into registration. It's about 40%, a little bit more. That's what I really know.
You know, I think I would guess that this is a business you want to build here. I wouldn't take this to Holland. I would do this here and now. I would introduce payment here, and I would move forward. My experience tells me that there's a particular, given what's happening here in general, in Kyiv right now, this is a good place and time to do this specific business. And you're going to find an easier time getting it to a little bit more scale here before it goes to the next market.
We just know that the winner takes it all, and there are like blank markets left in Europe and Western Europe. If we won't be there first, we won't make it.
That's also a good argument. So yeah, I mean, if you're able to raise a lot of money, go for Europe. But you know,
that's why I'm here.
You're selling secondhand stuff, and you want to be in a distressed economy. You don't want to be in an economy that's doing well when you're selling secondhand goods. Just in general, there's a higher demand for secondhand, high-quality merchandise when people who are used to buying new stuff suddenly are looking at secondhand stuff. So it's a good moment, to do that.
Well, we're working on relevant content. It's not only second-hand stuff. It's only like 50% second-hand stuff. It's handmade. It's some small productions, small brands, but not like business brands, not big companies. And people just sell a lot of stuff that didn't fit them, that they purchased somewhere in AliExpress and so on.
It's just second-hand.
Yeah. Our competitor Spock is very big in Germany, and it's just a second. It's Austrian company, so they're really successful there.
How big is Spock?
The last I can
see. Did you clone them?
Clone?
Yeah, Spock.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not clone. We just stole all their technical ideas and made them better.
What about their business ideas?
Business ideas?
That's the part usually worth copying.
Yeah.
Good.
But we have some innovations, except not
of course,
just copying. It's not.
No. You start with the copying and then you innovate after that.
Yeah. Like they're the biggest and the best. So they're only German and Austrian. Okay, thank you.
He wanted to meet again because he's not here.
Start one unpredictable way.
Thanks, that's interesting.
Hello everybody. Can you hear me in the back? Alright? Alright, my name is Dennis and today I'm excited to tell you how Volumetric helps restaurant industry. Managing restaurant is hard. When clients are not happy, they do not tell you. They go online and leave negative review. But the problem is that current format of reviews is designed for discovery purposes, not to help business owners to improve their business. It's difficult for them to go online and collect information from all the different sources, read through all the reviews, actually understand the meaning, and then resolve the issues reported by the customers. There's a tremendous amount of information hidden in these comments and waiting to be exploited to the benefits of the business. Volumetric actually turns every small initial customer complaint into a little improvement in the business process. So Volumetric solves this problem with the web application for review management. It automatically gathers information from different sources, automatically analyzes the text, extracts facts with the use of semantic analysis and sentiment analysis, and finally provide tools to act upon those issues. We have actually talked to a number of restaurants and have validated the price to be around 20 euros per month. It is in line with other miscellaneous services that they use on the daily basis, and the estimated lifetime value and customer acquisition cost implies that there could be a good business here. So there are two. Can you just correct me, please? There are two underlying technologies. One is a knowledge model for dining experience that converts the plain text of review into actual structured data that helps to identify which area of operations needs improvement, so owner knows exactly what to fix. The second one is a subject matter knowledge base that helps to solve the repeated issues simpler. And let me provide just a quick use case, like Evelyn wanted for the project. There is a cafe in Lisbon called the Brasileira. It's a very famous, has a Wikipedia page and everybody's in love with it. There's a monument, and they even have their own brand of coffee. So it's a cafe famous for coffee. But if you go to reviews, people are actually complaining about the quality, and it's a huge insight for the owner that might be in love with the venue, but doesn't take into account the feedback from the real customers. So the typical use scenario would be that owner wakes up in the morning and there's a notification email saying that for last month people complained about coffee 5 times and about the behavior of waiters, for example, 3 times. And there's definitely something to worry about. So owner logs into the system, confirms if the problem is true or not, and with the coffee, if you try a cup, if the cup is bitter, then there's a problem with taste. Okay, so let's analyze it. Well, what's wrong with the taste? Why is it bitter? The system suggests, like it was on the previous slide, I don't want to scroll. Yeah. So it's either machine is dirty or beans are stale. So he checks those issues and turns out that its machine has not been cleaned. So why was the coffee bitter? Because the machine was not cleaned. Why the machine was not cleaned? Because there's a person in charge. Why there's a person in charge? Because people don't know their duties. And this little piece of knowledge can actually result in having a little slip of paper in front of people that says, okay, root cause analysis, the root cause is that we actually need to clean it every day. Makes better service, happier customers, and better reviews. Okay, we've talked about the product too much. Let's talk about market a little bit. We have talked to many restaurants. Like I said, there are some that we managed to drive to use it, not many yet. We spent about 2 months, evolving the relations manually. However, in the future, it is possible to automatically gather information about thousands of restaurants and reach them with accounts already prepared with insights about their business, which makes a go-to-market strategy cost-effective. Of course, the market is large enough by itself to go after. Okay, competition. Competition is tight. It is true that there are many players that do our job even better, but they're targeting larger food service chains, and they look like enterprise software. It requires consultant services to install and operate and deploy. So it is just simply too expensive for a majority of restaurants, whereas we want to democratize voice of customer solutions for them. And there are some solutions that take care of parts of the feedback loop that we manage by only gathering reviews in one place or providing just a knowledge base. But we believe that we're in the position where we can offer established independent restaurants a solution that is priced to them and delivers enough value for them to use it on the daily basis. We have a team that has both business and technical backgrounds, so we're capable of building the product and building the business. I personally had an exit before, and I think that's it. Thank you.
Well, it's interesting. A lot of it was a little abstract. I wish you talk more about the specific 5 customers. What are you doing for them? How much they're paying? How well it's working for them now?
Right. So, like I said, they're not paying. We had about 20 restaurants in our pipeline, and we developed, relation because it takes going like a couple of meetings before they actually start using it. We did validate the problem, and I can tell you just 2 quick examples of how they're already solving this solution.
Well, help me understand why they're not paying.
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out. I think one of the reasons, especially it was in Portugal, where economy, is not this developed, and market can be largely divided into 3 layers. One is like pops and moms restaurants, where that is in the dining room, mom's in the kitchen. They don't care about reviews. The top layer, like McDonald's and other huge guys, they take care of it with KPIs by other means. But this middle layer, they're doing manual stuff, Excels. We've seen like real books, printed books, where they write with pen, with all those issues and resolutions, teaching new employees with them. So it is somewhat new to them, to switch to this new tool.
20 euros a month, right?
Yeah.
Subscription.
I didn't say it's what?
Yeah, I'm not hearing an answer. Why are the 5 restaurants refusing to pay 20 euros?
Yeah, it's 20 euros a month, right?
20 euros a month, yes. But that's what they say, they will pay if the value is delivered as promised.
So they are not getting the value. That's why they're not paying? I'm asking why they're not paying.
Well, the reason why somebody's not paying is that I'm not seeing the value either.
So what I don't understand is your claim that you validated the pricing by asking people. I mean, are you saying that your current product doesn't solve the problem, but you learned enough that you know what the problem is, you will solve it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Actual communication with the potential clients is twofold. You first validate the problem, and there are facts that confirm it, and then you validate solution, that you update solution to their needs over time.
So you know what you have to change in the product, and after that they're going to pay.
Well, hopefully yes. And the product is actually an MVP. So some of the things are done manually in the background. For example, sentiment analysis. We're now working with 2 guys in Brazil. They're building the actual engine. So it takes time, but for now, I actually have to do manually, like highlight the facts and extract them myself. So.
Are you crawling like Yelp, TripAdvisor?
Yes, exactly. That's the first step in the value chain. We crawl Yelp, Facebook, TripAdvisor, etc., to get all the sources of information about this thing. So the main innovation, and I know I'm repeating myself, but the main innovation that this body of knowledge that is already there sits in those reviews. It is not even underused, it's almost not used at all. And the innovative approach is to use it the other way around, not for discovery, not for customers.
I think it's interesting. I think there's a business there. You have to prove it. It's too early. You have to show traction. But yeah, it's interesting.
Exactly. It takes maybe twice as much effort to actually get paying customers, because it's made over in the beginning.
After you get the paying customers, then we will talk about whether it's twice as much or 70 times as much, but you gotta get the paying customers.
Alright, makes sense. That's B2B. Yeah, thank you.
Here the smart TV есть? Окей, давайте одну.
Last but not least.
Hi everyone, my name is Dennis, I'm a member of Candy Smart TV team. So the first question for today will be for you. What do you know about Android TV?
Nothing.
So, do you have Android TV box or Smart TV at home? Yes. Yes. How do you find it?
It was a present to my birthday.
Okay, so you see, we work for those people who love to watch TV with a good quality and to find media content in internet and to watch it with a good quality too. So we are a young developers team and we work in the sphere of Android TV development and apps for Android TV. Nowadays there are a lot of different platforms for smart TV. Android TV may become the leader, but to achieve these goals, the interface of Android TV should be user-friendly and understandable. And it is well-known fact that management and navigation are among the biggest problems for Android TV. You can see that search 4 times faster shows only for smartphone. You can find any content you want just pressing the buttons on your phone, and it will faster than finding this information via Smart TV. Smart TV will take you 41.
Slow down a little. You're going very fast. I'm not so fast.
Okay.
The entire list. I don't have an Android TV. I know you have an Android TV, but I don't. So could you tell me what it is? I have an Apple TV. Is it like that?
Apple TV, yes. It's like that, but not at all. Yes.
Explain to me what it is, and then I'll be able to understand what it is.
Okay. Android TV is a technology for Android which allows you to watch TV with a good formal quality. We developed 2 applications for Android TV: Handy Smart TV Launcher and Handy Smart TV Remote Control. You see that what is this? This is a remote controller. I will show you that Android TV is a simple TV box on the basis of operational system of Android. You can set this TV to your old TV, and you can do whatever you want just via simple Android. Because a lot of people know that Smart TV is too expensive nowadays for customers. And only per $1,100 you can buy this tool and can watch everything you want just via your phone. So you see, we created launcher. What is it about? You can install this launcher on your TV box, and you can manipulate and navigate via the interface just with the help of your smartphone, because smartphone is always with you, and old TV remote controller is always everywhere at your home.
So your application allows you to use your smartphone to control this box called an Android TV.
Yes.
It's a remote control application.
Not only remote control. It's a launcher with the possibility of remote control.
What is a launcher?
Launcher is an application with it's a firmware for this device.
Just from my customer point of view,
okay.
Maybe let's not talk about firmware. What is a launcher and why do I need one?
Launcher is already installed on your phone, your smartphone, your tablet. For example, for Apple, iOS is also like a launcher. You can change your basic factory settings, just install this launcher. There are a lot of different launchers. For example, Nova launcher for mobile devices, Buzz launcher. Do you know about such launchers?
Like with desktop on Windows.
Yes. With launcher, you can change not only the interface. You can easily manipulate with your smartphone. It will ease the whole process of navigation, and so it's a really good thing to control even your mobile phone. But we work for TV box. You see, we try to differentiate on the China market because according to the strategy analytics, there are more than 33 million of active Android TV devices. And it is well-known fact that Google is prohibited in China, and it is a high time for us to show really our development.
I mean, the video you had is really easy to follow. Do you plan to do like a demo there? I mean, it's kind of confusing the way you're presenting. The video was really simple, you know?
Yes, with our apps you can control the whole functions of your TV box very easily. You can control it via your phone.
Are you saying that Google has something similar, but in China you can't use it?
Yes, you can't use Google Android TV in China because it's prohibited there. And China market is very widespread because
the device or the app is prohibited?
Both device and apps. Till nowadays in China there are more than 600 millions of active Android users, and till the end of 2050 there will be more than 79 million of active.
I don't care about that.
Okay.
How many users do you have?
We have already published our application at the end of December, and in 3 weeks we have 10k active users worldwide.
Free users.
Yes, our application is free, and you will ask me where is the money. We choose another.
No, I'm going to ask you how you're going to get 1 million users. I'm going to ask you where the money.
We try to get 1 million users till the end of this year. As for monetization of our project, we are going to monetize it via B2B way. We are going to connect with Android TV producers and to propose them to install our application as a firmware. Because the user proves that fact that our application are really interesting for them, and they are very easy for the user. They are very intuitive, and you needn't buy any additional tools to control your Android TV, because even with Google TV you have basic remote control.
It's awful.
Yes, it's awful. We try to adopt all bad things and to make in our project everything that will not only ease the process of navigation and manipulating, but we try to make Android TV much better, much convenient for the user.
Can people find you in the App Store?
No, we work only with Android.
Sorry, the Play Store. So how did you get 10,000 people downloaded?
Yes, we got this.
These people who bought Android TV, didn't like the remote, downloaded your app in order to use the phone to control the TV.
Yes,
That's how you get it.
Yes, they downloaded our apps and launch is.
And how did they find you?
We work over different blogs and internet resources because there are a lot of specialized forums such as XDA developers.
Is it increasing or is it already falling?
No, the downloads are increasing now because it's really interesting, and it is just what they are looking for. A lot of feedbacks help us to improve our project. We have a lot of to do now because a lot of users show us what should we do in another way. We got at about 3 feedbacks every day from the users, and they told us how we can make our product better. And there are also a lot of users which are not a simple ordinary user, but there are also different customer producers who ask us about the possibility of cooperating, because they are really interested in our project, and they are really interested in our mobile apps as for their Android TV, because they are Android TV producers, and basic Android TV devices have an awful interface. It is hard to use. And that is why with our project we are going to change not only the mind of people, but we are going to change the whole Android TV.
So that was the last team. Thank you very much. If you still have questions, let's just break out and, feel free to approach, myself or Semyon for any additional details on TechStars. But I guess you all know that TechStars, we are located in Boston, which is an amazing city, especially for Europeans. It's a much easier city to adapt for those coming from Ukraine. And We hope to see them. Thanks.
In Boston?
I have two questions, one questions. All of accelerators in the world don't show your program. And if I decided something and app application, I don't know what I take from this company, how really can help for my project. Maybe you can, from 2 minutes, talk about our Boston program
and your benefits of to be a part of TechStars.
Yeah, no, joke, but not about money. He understand money of what step we study, what we give, and what we experience. More have experience at what part of knowledge or experience in work, hardware, something, e-commerce, or something else. You understand me?
Can I listen Russian?
Yes. Вы сейчас сделайте промо вашего крутого инкубатора.
Просто хотите, чтобы мы рассказали вам, что мы делаем и что у нас происходит, да?
Конечно.
Но самое главное, что мы делаем, это мы выбираем очень-очень интересных, незаурядных людей со всего мира. И берем всего 10 или 12 команд таких, собираем их вместе на 3 месяца. И это очень интенсивная программа, это каждый день, с утра до вечера. Мы работаем вместе, и моя цель просто помочь достичь какого-то успеха. Для этого я использую все ресурсы, которые я могу раздобыть. Конкретно в Бостоне это менторы, то есть люди, которые просто ради того, чтобы помочь, хотят проводить время с этими стартапами и становятся небезразличными к их судьбе. То есть как мы привлекаем таких людей, это как бы двусторонний маркет. У нас настолько интересные стартапы, что люди хотят помогать именно им. И настолько сильные менторы, что стартапы входят именно к нам. Я бы сказал, что еще больше получают люди друг от друга. То есть за это время они сближаются обычно. Они обычно молодые, они работают вместе целый день, и приезжают с разных стран. И мы попытаемся создать атмосферу очень глубокого доверия. Знаете, к нам обычно люди, которые уже имеют достаточно большой уровень успеха, то есть обычно они уже собрали деньги, уже есть обороты, уже довольно проблем. Не все, конечно, бывают ранние, но обычно, особенно те, кто издалека приезжают, они из довольно развитых компаний, и такие люди, которые этого достигли, часто становятся самоуверенными и немножко начинают меньше слушать и больше говорить, и мы помогаем им в себе это исправить. То есть мы копаемся внутри их сознания, да? И находим страхи, которые всегда у них присутствуют, которые блокируют их, и которые не позволяют им достаточно открываться и доверяться. И когда у нас это получается, когда они начинают действительно открывать все, что они чувствуют, то хорошие менторы способны им помочь гораздо больше. И друг другу они помогают гораздо больше, чем если в такой поверхностной, скажем, более программе. Акселераторов очень много, и в основном они очень поверхностные. А мы делаем примерно то же самое, но мы делаем это гораздо глубже. И выбираем людей гораздо осторожнее. И в результате, я могу сказать, что у нас есть результат. У нас есть в Бостоне уже 5 лет. В Бостоне, да, 7 лет назад TechStars начался, 5 лет он уже Бостон первый город, который TechStars расширился из Колорадо. И по сравнению с другими программами у нас невероятно высокий процент людей, которые очень удовлетворены тем, что они там получили. То есть они чувствуют, что их компания двигается намного быстрее, и они сами лично двигаются быстрее, достигают гораздо большего, чем они достигли бы без этой программы. Это их мнение, такое субъективное мнение, но мы его знаем, мы его считаем, мы гарантируем, мы берем процент какой-то компании, 6% коммунстака мы берем, и мы гарантируем это тем, что люди будут довольны. Если люди недовольны, они ничего не дают. Вот. Я ответил на вопрос, или вы хотите более...
Вы ответили более глубже, чем могли ответить.
Спасибо.
Ну, я хотела добавить, что вы слышали обзор TechStars Boston с точки зрения инвестора, руководителей TechStars Boston. Тоже важно знать с точки зрения участников программы, да? Так что мы сделаем? Если вы, допустим, подали заявку на TechStars и успешно прошли первый этап, мы выбрали, мы готовы встретиться с вами на интервью. У вас тоже есть вопрос, да? Тогда мы приглашаем какие-то алумны, какие-то команды, которые уже прошли эту программу, и между вами идет какие-то разговоры, вы можете слушать от них, как они оценят нашу программу. И это часто не сделано, потому что вы не единственный, который имеет вопросы, что такое, ну, стоит, не стоит и т.д. Так что, ну, лучше тоже знать вот и полезно ли или нет. И последнее, это что у TechStars здесь, как, я думаю, нигде, такое приложение называется Equity Guarantee. Да? Если вдруг вы недовольны после того, когда вы прошли программу, вы можно просто просить ваше горе назад. Такой случай не бывает, но есть возможность.
Сама возможность.
Да, если хочется, есть такая возможность. Слава Богу, но, допустим, последняя программа у нас видит финансовая компания, все довольны, ну, наоборот, наверное, есть те, которые хотели даже больше, да, и TechStars, потому что, допустим, прошли и до того, когда ну, были на демо-дэй, уже подняли по 3 миллиона, 3,5 миллионов долларов. Так что, ну, это серьезная помощь для, ну, молодой команды, да?
У меня один еще маленький, короткий вопрос. Что было в 2011 году, потому что рейды у вас были в среднем у компании привлечение 8-9 миллионов, 7, то есть 10 компаний получали 90 миллионов всего. Что было в 2011 году? Потому что...
Вы говорите конкретно про Бостон, конкретно про один наш класс, да?
Я говорю, да, про ваш взгляд, про 2011 год.
Ну, вот просто программа началась в Бостоне в 2009 году, и она была новая, свежая, и там менеджмент был довольно, там был не я, и там были другие люди.
Accelerators have a very narrow vertical focus on a particular kind of business. I'd say just B2B versus consumer, yeah, they're probably, there's many, you know, the number of accelerators is almost infinite. There's a new one every week, it seems.
Еле нашел.
I think if you're going to look for a specialized accelerator, I would look a little more narrow than B2B. You know, you want something specific to an industry.
Like for instance, I know one that is like broad, like B2B, is Wise Guys in Estonia. They do all kinds of B2B. And by the way, going through an accelerator, if you're very early, and that's what it looks like with you guys, you're very early, it's a good idea to go through an accelerator like Wise Guys, you know, and then go to TechStars as a way to enter the US market, the global market in grand style, you know. So we do that a lot when, you know, we work with other accelerators to, you know, as feeders to our system. We don't really take very early, usually, you know, teams. We need more, you know, validation. Okay. So, for instance, the last cohort, we had a team from Le Camping, which is a very nice accelerator in Paris, right? The team went through Le Camping, you know, got some results, raised, you know, a seed round, and then went to TechStars Boston for a bigger round, for, you know, bigger accounts with, you know, US clients and so on.
Yeah, I want to be transparent on that. We have a diversity of stages of the companies, and historically we used to take companies that were mostly early stage and had a couple. In every class we always had 2 or 3 that were bigger. Now it's probably more evenly mixed. There's probably, you know, half of them have some real revenues, you know, a quarter of them are really pretty far along, you know, maybe 1/4 are very, very early, haven't raised any money. So there's a range. Generally speaking, in Boston, 90% of the time, the 3 or 4 companies that are very early are probably going to be from Boston. They're unlikely to come from far away, just because we find that it's difficult for us to be able to help a company from far away. An early stage company needs to raise money right away. We don't put a lot of money in. The $118,000 is not enough to build a business, right? So companies are dependent on fundraising. It's a little bit harder if they're very early and from very far away. You know, local investors don't just immediately invest in new people who just arrived. You know, it takes time. And we find that for companies from Europe, we can make a bigger impact later when they already have proven the market, raised the first round, between the seed and the A, you know, when they raise the first 2 million and they're looking for 5 or 10. At that point, they actually need us a lot, because then it's less acceleration and more transference to the US market from a different market. It's a little bit of a different value.
And another question.
But we love mixing those later stage companies together with the earlier stage companies in one class, because we want complete diversity. Hardware, software, you know, the more diverse it is, the more interesting, the more likely people are to be able to help each other.
There is that B2B accelerator in London called Barclays Accelerator, and you guys must be affiliated in some way.
Barclays?
Barclays, yes. Barclays.
Yes, it's not B2B, it's specific to fintech, to financial industry. We're more than that. We're running it. It's a TechStars program affiliated with Barclays, the corporation, but TechStars runs the program. So we have a number of these vertical programs where there's a corporation, a vertical focus on an industry, but it's a TechStars program, the managing directors are TechStars employees.
Okay, thank you.
It's a great program, I highly recommend it. But you have to be in fintech, you can't just be B2B, it has to be financial.
Well, in some way our startup sort of overlaps with fintech, so...
Okay, yeah, no, that's a great program, I highly recommend it.
Yes. Can I just consider for a second the B2B topic? Of course you're looking for the team and traction and the combination of both. What would be the benchmark for a B2B startup to demonstrate enough traction to be interesting for TechStars in Boston specifically?
Well, I would say the benchmark for someone from here, as opposed to someone local, I think the benchmark would be meaningful B2B enterprise. You're talking about larger?
Well, I'm talking about B2B as a type of solution, but...
It just matters, very much. If you're talking about SMB, small business, it's probably going to have to be meaningful revenues, hundreds of thousands, maybe $1 million in revenues, trailing. If it's going to be, the company that I mentioned was a pre-revenue company. They came from France. The English skills weren't perfect. But in that case, it was a very large enterprise sales solution, and they had 5 or 6 trial customers with large-scale trials. Each of those deals will be many millions of dollars when they closed it. They were pre-revenues, but in their case, it was such an enterprise, such a large ticket item that the sales cycle is years. They were clearly, provably moving along. They had partners, they had key partners in the industry that we spoke with at the CEO level of the partner, saying if they can solve this technical problem, we're going to get behind this company. So they had a lot of traction that's not measured in revenues. But for most companies that are even B2B, but smaller ticket items, it's probably going to be real sales, real revenues.
But for us, for example, I said the minimum is like 100,000 per year. But for us selling it subscription 20, we would need like 500 customers, which is really sort of difficult to acquire within half a year or within a year on the early stage. So would 20, 30 be enough as a validation, or is it not?
I would say it's case by case.
Certainly it should apply, we'll look at it.
Yeah, it's not like there's a formula, like a cookie cutter formula, like if you have 100 customers then you're good. It's really case by case. It depends. Did you get 20 customers in 2 years, or did you get 20 customers in 1 day? So it's like there's no formula that tells you the answer. It's case by case.
Which one of today's speeches you like the most?
The first one, by far the most.
The pitch or the product?
The founder.
And fight with founder, right?
What?
And the fight with founder, right?
I don't remember a fight. The fight? It must have been a good one because I don't remember. Yeah, that was I'm very, very transparent. That was my favorite founder today.
Thank you.
What you don't like?
What?
What you don't like printers? It was about printers.
Yeah, I know it was.
No, it's about the marketplace.
I want to talk why. I've asked him to come to Boston to interview with us in person. So he's going to come out in March, and we're going to continue the conversation. He's a serious candidate for the program.
And that's a good example of an entrepreneur that doesn't give up and believes in himself.
And they don't have any revenues.
Yeah, they don't have revenues. Yeah. They only have prototype. He believes in himself. He already applied. He already got a lot of bad feedback and got beaten and beaten. He showed up all confident and believing in himself and his project. And hey, he got an invitation to go to Boston. That's a very good sign, So, and we will pay for his trip to go there. This is amazing. He will be there. So, never give up. Try, you never know.
Мы засыпем вас заявкой.
Да нет, это не спасет.
И чаще всего компании подают гостю один раз.
No.
То есть мы в первый раз их не берем, они подают на следующий год. И иногда на третий.
То есть, но не подходят они для этой секты, да?
Сколько раз в год набор у вас?
В последнее время у нас 10 месяцев прошло с прошлой программы до этой. То есть это чуть больше, чем раз в год.
So you had Ukrainian companies take part in the TechStars Boston program?
We absolutely had, in Boston, we had one Ukrainian company. We had multiple, we had more than one.
Yeah, Чекаю.
But we had one that was literally, from, I forget where they were from, near Petrovsk, Donetsk or something like that. They were not from Kyiv. And they did, they applied directly and they didn't know anybody and they got in on the strength of an application and they're doing pretty well. Now they've raised some venture money. They moved to Las Vegas. They raised money from
Founder of
Tony
Chasopys.
Yeah, the Chasopys.
What's the company's name?
Chekio. It's like this girl, Lisa.
I know.
Very nerdy company, software. For programmers, for teaching people a game to teach programming.
Python and
but they did have quite a bit of traction for sure inside their original game. It was before I ran the program. There was a second company that was Ukrainian, but they were already all in America. That's doing fantastically well, called Rallyware. They are, I think, from Kyiv and Odessa, but they're based in San Francisco now.
Other question? Еще вопросы есть? Вот здесь.
Привет, рад вас здесь видеть. А как ваш визит в Лиссабон? Я хочу сказать, что я знаю как минимум 3 стартапа, которые сейчас прошли в шорт-лист в Lisbon Challenge, и они думают, ехать туда, не ехать туда. Денег там не дают, экосистема непонятно какая. Вы сегодня сравнивали экосистему у нас с другими экосистемами, сравните с Лиссабоном.
Да, я как раз только что там был, я могу сказать, что примерно на том же месте экосистема в Киеве и в Лиссабоне. Я не чувствую, что Лиссабон впереди Киева, никак. То есть там довольно грустно, довольно далеко.
По разным причинам, я бы сказала. Да. Я хотела добавить еще раз, мой эксперимент мне очень интересный. Киев сейчас немножко слабый, потому что мы все знаем почему, да? У нас было все going, но уперлось. Так что это мешает. Но из Лисбона, что я нашла, это что разные игроков рынок, разные акселераторы, и VC, они ненавидят друг друга, они не помогают друг другу. И это просто караул. Что это такое, ребята? Вы должны очень плотно, хорошо работать. Как мы здесь, да? Мы исследуем работу с Happy Farm и T-Venture. Мы все поняли, что если будет одна success story, это хорошо для всех. Потому что будем привлекать инвесторов для всех, да? И так далее, и так далее. Как это может быть? Так и есть. И это очень видно влияет на результат всего экосистемы. Так что они обе слабые, Киев и Лисбон, но по разным причинам абсолютно.
Спасибо. Но мы выживем, не? Как со стороны смотрится? Пациент скорее жив или мертв?
Я согласен, все будет хорошо.
Но не у нас. Не, серьезно, со стороны что еще бесит или выглядит нестандартно? Особенно это больше вопрос Семена, потому что все-таки Эвелин ты хорошо знаешь, как у нас все происходит. Что бросается в глаза, чего нам не хватает, мы тупо не понимаем или не делаем?
В первую очередь здесь, в Лиссабоне, на мой взгляд, не хватает ангелов. Это главное. И не потому, что нет денег, то есть деньги-то есть.
Рискуют давать.
Там вообще много, и тут немало. Не хватает желания среди успешных людей из старого мира, из старого бизнеса вкладывать ради того, чтобы помочь, быть менторами. То есть люди еще не открыли для себя, насколько прекрасно использовать свои ресурсы для того, чтобы адаптировать каких-то людей молодых и пытаться им помочь. Просто чтобы помочь и смотреть на то, что можно с этого заработать, как на бонус, как на лишнее, но не на главное. А главное именно помочь им достичь успеха. Это, сегодня утром мы разговаривали с инвесторами здесь, мне кажется, это главное, чего здесь не хватает. И мне кажется, сейчас прекрасный момент конкретно в Украине это изменить. Потому что люди, в общем-то, просыпаются к разного вида благотворительности. И на фоне этого, на фоне политических изменений, мне кажется, самое время сейчас постараться убедить очень успешных людей, что вместо того, чтобы покупать какую-то Феррари им гораздо лучше вложиться в 2-3 стартапа и попытаться помочь. Они просто больше от этого получат отдачи, чем от автомобиля или от поездки, или от там, чего-то еще.
2-3 стартапа это конец.
Блин, да стартап тебе сам Феррари даст покататься, если он будет успешным. Да, да. Спасибо. А что еще бросается? Или это вот самое первое? По-английски мы вообще не говорим? Плохо или говорим, или как?
Сегодня как-то все нормально более-менее владели английским, на удивление. Наверное, это был критерий отбора. Елена специально отпустила только тех, кто говорят, да?
Не, ну это просто из нашего опыта мы вот действительно уперлись в то, что вот по-английски почти никто не говорит. То есть я вот даже вот приезжая в Америку, все равно между собой...
Да, конечно, это так. В стране вообще очень-очень слабо развит английский, это известно, это понятно, где-нибудь там. Вот я был в Израиле, ну все абсолютно прекрасно, как мне.
Прибалтике.
На английском, и это не случайно. И в Индии система тоже развита гораздо больше, чем здесь или в
Да,
Португалии.
я понял. Да не, я могу еще хоть что-то.
Английский все-таки это показывает интерес к миру, да, более широкому. И да, язык нужен, конечно.
И, но хорошая экосистема тоже, они везде, да. Понятно, что здесь нету поддержки, но, допустим, ну, еще раз, в Эстонии, они везде. Их Silicon Valley, постоянно нас, Бостон и везде. Израиль то же самое. Украина, вот, был хорошая инициатива в прошлом году, UTG, да, ребята там Happy Farm сделали. Надо делать это как можно побольше, общаться по всему миру.
Ну может совет тогда сразу, или диагноз?
Ну, я не хочу давать совет экосистеме, я хочу давать совет людям, которые сюда пришли, потому что они открывают свои компании. То есть это не совсем вы им тоже помогаете. Мой совет подумать, зачем вам вообще это все надо. То есть это не самый лучший метод заработать деньги. Правда, это не факт. Лучше научитесь программировать и идите аутсорсером, там будет все нормально. Шансы гораздо выше на успех.
А тебе что, не включить?
Я к этому и думаю. Открывать надо компанию, потому что нет другого выбора. Потому что, ну, есть, надо понимать, для кого, зачем, нафиг надо. Если вы знаете, для кого вы это делаете, у вас есть клиенты, вы понимаете, кто будет ваши покупатели, и вам не безразлична их судьба, это невозможно подделать. Или вам пофигу, или вам не пофигу. Если вас действительно, вам важно решить какую-то проблему для кого-то, это не абстрактная вещь. Вы можете представить себе этих людей, для кого вы ее решаете. И если вас мотивирует это желание, горящее желание это сделать, то вы, скорее всего, найдете путь к успеху. Потому что это позволит вам вдохновить кого-то еще, чтобы он присоединился или она присоединилась к вашей команде. А это же самое главное. Любую проблему, любую сложность можно решить тем, что более сильный человек, более опытный человек к вам присоединится. Захочет быть частью вашего успеха, поверит в ваш успех. Но если вы сами неправильно, недостаточно точно мотивированы, вы вряд ли сможете вдохновить кого-то еще. А если вы не сможете вдохновить человека, успешного человека, чтобы он бросил все и пошел работать с вами, то вы никогда не соберете деньги. А если сможете, то деньги собрать вообще легко. Потому что гораздо легче убедить людей деньги вложить, чем вложить в себя. Если это правильные люди. Так что я советую подумать, зачем, от чего и почему и для кого. И действительно серьезно подумать над этими вопросами. И с кем. Начинать надо с правильными людьми.
Закончат все равно с юристами.
Из-за того, что интернет, слава богу, существует, расстояние между Бостоном и Украиной реально доля секунды. Да? Возможно ли клиентам ваших Бостон, человек, который работает, при отборе какой-то, как Ильин сказал, у вас, допустим, миграции, так команд больше, что я не буду там играть, Украина играет в метрах, что было виртуальность.
Не получится.
No.
Мы думали об этом. Но другие TechStars программы экспериментировали. Я это не понимаю. Я не вижу, что будет мотивировать виртуального ментора. То есть много сил. Душу вкладываешь. И делать это на скайпе для каких-то людей, которые от тебя далеко, не думаю. Не думаю, что правильные менторы захотят этим заниматься.
Ты просто в Бостон не хочешь.
Не-не-не, он хочет и в Бостон, и в Лиссабон, и сразу из дома.
Нет, вы должны найти ментора здесь. Пока вы тут, вы должны найти кого-то здесь, кто вам поможет. Когда вам имеет смысл приехать в Бостон, конечно, приезжайте в Бостон. Но в любом случае надо находить, в том числе, помимо партнеров, помимо кофаундеров, надо, наверное, учиться находить вокруг, в своей среде каких-то менторов тоже. И часто я говорю, я считаю, что да, вы должны вдохновлять, вот вы в Украине должны вдохновлять людей, чтобы они стали ангелами, но это не только люди, которые строят акселераторы, должны их вдохновлять. Я думаю, сами те, кто непосредственно нуждается в этом менторстве, тоже ответственны за то, чтобы уговорить людей и помогать. Я могу про себя лично сказать, что когда у меня были свои первые стартапы, когда я был молодой, не было у меня никогда никаких вначале менторов. По той простой причине, что я был слишком самоуверенный, дурак, самоуверенный, для того, чтобы позволить кому-то быть ментором для меня. Я никого не слушал, я никому не верил. То есть, слушайте людей.
That's your success story. But you're successful now. Вы успешны и...
Или еще впереди.
Может, это ключ к успеху?
Немножко сложно напомнил.
Спасибо.
Может, это ключ к успеху?
Have you ever used anyone's mentorship? That's what his question implies. Have you ever used mentorship?
I have, since I have, yeah, but just in the very beginning I didn't. I didn't go through it after. No, it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, I have since used mentorship quite a bit, especially more recently.
У меня опять вопрос про сравнение. Вот я общался с рядом людей из Израиля, из экосистемы стартаперской, они говорили мне, да, вот Израиль силен там в управлении продуктом, в технологической части, по маркетингу мы не очень хороши, поэтому мы едем в Штаты потом и там делаем маркетинг. Может быть, есть какая-то черта части или еще какая-то другая часть, чтобы, ну, может быть, подсказать, что вот нажмите на это ваша сильная сторона, так ее дальше и развивайте, потому что...
Можно, конечно, это сказать, и можно придумать, в чем она состоит, но мне кажется, это неправильный вопрос у предпринимателя, это обобщение. Какая разница, какая сильная часть всей страны? У вас есть одна идея, одна команда, одна миссия, да? Надо заниматься своим делом. Нет?
Собираемся?
То есть, ну, может, в стране там в среднем сильно стильное что-то, но надо на чем-то фокусироваться. А еще совет для предпринимателя, я не успел дать, очень важный, что когда ты веришь в своих клиентов, в свою пользу, в свое дело, то это позволяет, это дает тебе внутреннюю силу отказываться от всего остального. Нужно делать что-то одно. Нужно выбрать самое главное, самое лучшее, один фич какой-то, вот важный в том, что делать, и делать его очень хорошо. И в процессе там нужно часто отказываться от возможностей. Когда они начинают приходить, то что убивает чаще всего маленький бизнес, когда у них начинает получаться, и они говорят, да, этим, уже все размывается. А нужно как бы выбрать самое лучшее одно и говорить нет всем остальным. И инвесторам, и партнерам, и клиентам. Нет. Вот это да. А когда не получается, менять, конечно, и тогда возвращаться к тем. Но по очереди, обычно.
Спасибо.
Мы сегодня в редакции АИНьо обсуждали, что многим нашим предпринимателям, стартаперам не хватает идей для бизнеса. Можете вы сейчас навскидку предложить 3, 5, 7 идей?
Это пресса, если что, да. Да.
Я не верю,
да.
Вам не хватает идей. Я думаю, идеи вас навалом.
Это такой хороший заголовок был бы, 7 идей.
Вам не хватает заголовка.
Вот первый стартап, который подбирает заголовки для...
Куча идей.
Да.
Идеи ничего не значит.
Да. Реализация, а потом продаж.
Конечно, реализация конкретными людьми. Не хватает сильных людей, а не сильных идей.
Но у нас люди наоборот считают.
Ну это их проблемы, да.
Но все с идеи начинается.
Нет, начинается все с найденного спроса. Еще вопрос? Ура, спасибо.
Спасибо всем, что пришли.
Приезжайте еще, да, спасибо. Ура.